Pyari Sad Sangat Ji, Gajwaj Ke Fateh Baloni, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. So today's Katha, we're carrying on from where we left off of the last few weeks. So we've been going through Katha of Ramkali ki Vaar. So this is a Vaar, this is the one Bani, if you like, written by Satta Ji and by Balvand Ji, who were two Raggis, two Kirtanis at the time of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. And as we said before, the Vaar is here because these two Raggis, out of their ego, insulted Guru Sahib, moved away from Sikhi, but ultimately were brought back into Sikhi. And part of their saja, I won't say the word punishment, but part of the deal for them to be forgiven was they had to sing the praise of the same Guru that they had insulted with their tongues. So this Vaar was written by Satta Ji and by Balvand Ji, and it's very important because again it shows us that even if you do make mistakes, even if you do fall off the path of Sikhi, Guru Maharaj has the power, Maharaj has the compassion to forgive us and bring us back. And in the example of Bhai Satta Ji and Bhai Balvand Ji, they were not only forgiven, but their Bani was actually taken to a level whereby it was actually included in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So in the first week, we looked at the first two Pauriyan, which had the praise of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Pauriyan 3 and 4 again looked at Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. And today we're going to look at 5 and 6, which again touch slightly on Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, but more so on the third Guru, Guru Amar Das Ji. So these are the words of Bhai Satta Ji and Bhai Balvand Ji praising the Gurus. Now again, we've picked this Gurbani just to start off with for this weekly Katha because again, it's a nice introduction to the first 5 Gurus. It kind of brings into light who they were, some of their significant praises that Maharaj recognizes. After this Gurbani is finished, and we'll finish up 7 and 8 Pauriyan next week, we'll pick another Shabd or another bit of Sikh history and we'll continue from there. So Maharaj says here, at the first Pangti of the 5th Pauri, Fer Vasaya Feruan Satguru Kadur Jap Tap Sanjam Nal Tud Hor Much Gurur. So Maharaj is saying here, again Maharaj is referring to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj in this first Pauri. And Maharaj says Fer Vasaya Feruan. So Bhai Feru Ji was the father of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. So here Bhai Satta Ji, Bhai Balvand Ji are referring to the second Guru's father, Fer Vasaya Feruan, that the son of Bhai Feru was Vasad, he was established, he was recognized, Satguru Kadur, and Maharaj used to live in Kadur, so this is where the second Guru was established. And when Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj became Guru, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj in the physical form became one with Vaheguru themselves, what Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj did was went back to Kadur Sahib, and they went to this Mata's house, Mai Parai, and for 6 months they sat in this Mata's house so they didn't come out, and all they did was Bhakti. And the Sangat was looking around now because obviously Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj had gone and had given the Guru Gaddi to the second Guru, but the second Guru wasn't around anymore. They couldn't see where Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj was. So the Sangat went to Baba Buddha Ji, because Baba Buddha Ji had been blessed by Guru Nanak Dev Ji to say, wherever I am, in whatever form I am, you'll be able to recognize me. This is a blessing given to Baba Buddha Ji for the seva he'd done of the first Guru. So Sangat said to Baba Buddha Ji, we can't find the second Guru anywhere. We don't know where Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj has gone. Kirpa karo, tell us Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj kithe han. And then Baba Buddha Ji took them to Kadur Sahib, as it's known now. And they went to Mai Parai's house. And with their blessings, they knew that Maharaj was inside. And they looked around, and a wall and the door had been closed off, and he'd been locked down. And Baba Buddha Ji pried open the bricks around the door and opened the door, and inside they found Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. And they muttate to Maharaj, and they saw Guru Angad Dev Ji's face was full of birag, full of, if you like, emotional sadness. Not sadness as we recognize sadness, but birag, which is almost like a feeling of separation. Sadness which comes from separation from Vaheguru, from God. And Baba Buddha Ji said to the second Guru, Maharaj, you've been given the Guru Gaddi to do Adar, to save the Sangh, to teach them about Gurmat, to teach them about Vaheguru, to save them and cross them from this earth. Maharaj, you can't just surely sit inside and do bhakti by yourself like this. And it was a benti more than a question or more than a command. And Maharaj Guru Angad Dev Ji said to Baba Buddha Ji, ke Baar Diwan lao, set up outside so that we may come out and teach the Sangat about Gurmat. And when Maharaj came out, Maharaj read two panktiyan. Maharaj says, Jis pyare so neh, tis aage mar chaliye, tarik jivan sansar, taake pache jivana. Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj said these 2 lines. Basically what Maharaj is saying here, there's 2 meanings to these 2 panktiyan. The first one is, Jis pyare so neh, tis aage mar chaliye. So, Jis pyare so neh. So once your beloved dies, this aage mar chaliye. So for the one that you love, we should die before them. So he's basically, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj talking about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, that because they feel separated from Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, that why am I still here? That we should die before the one that we love. That it's almost like a sin. It's a worthless life to live after the one that you've loved. Now what Maharaj is saying here, one, he's talking about the separation from Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, but Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj is also saying that we should die before the one that we love. Well, Maharaj is saying there that we, in terms of our hankara, ego, should die before Guru Sahib. So when we come in front of Maharaj, our ego should die. And if after we've left Maharaj, if our ego, our life continues, then that's a waste of life. So Maharaj, as well as explaining the emotional torment, that emotional separation that they were going through, bless the Sangha to that gyan, bless the Sangha to the knowledge, that when we come to Maharaj, what should die is the us, is the we, it's the I. And before our beloved, the I should die. And if we carry on living beyond the Guru, with the I, with that ego, with that me, mine, this belongs to me, this is my power, then that's a wasted life. So Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, after 6 months, came to the forefront after Baba Buddha Ji found them. So fair Vasaya, fair one, Satgur Khadur. So Maharaj now settled Khadur Sahib as a place for Sikhi. Maharaj says, Jap tap sanjam naal tud hor mach gurur. So jap is the jap, the meditation, naam japna, bani japani. Tap is normally seen as somewhat difficult seva. So seva that we do. Sanjam again is discipline. Naal tud. So all of these qualities, the ability to do meditation, the ability to do seva, the ability to control yourself, self-discipline, naal tud, these are all with Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Hor mach gurur. Now, Gauravta, there's gurur can mean ego, but can also mean vadiyaiyan. So Gauravta means vadiyai. So much is lots. So one part of this pankti, you can take it as all of the great vadiyaiyan, all the great praises of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. The second way to read this pankti is also that where there is hankar, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj takes that away. So the ability to do meditation, to do nam japana, seva, and all the good self-discipline that we must keep is with Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, as well as the ability to get rid of hankar, but also all the greatness is Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj as well. Then Maharaj says, Lab vehane, lab venahe mansa, jo pani boor. Now Maharaj said lab, which is what we said lob. So lab is another version of the word lob. Vehane, venahe mansa. Venahe is to ruin, manasa is manas, as in the humankind. So what Maharaj is saying that greed ruins our human birth. Greed ruins mankind. Jo pani boor, you know, algae. If you get ganda pani, you get that kind of green, brown, kind of vegetation that grows on top of it. It dirties the water. It means you can't drink that water. So what Maharaj is saying is that greed ruins mankind like algae ruins water. So what happens when algae ruins water? Not only is it not recognized as water anymore, it's pollution for us to drink. So what happens is, even if you're a saintly person underneath, even if you've got a lot of good qualities, let's say you do a lot of Nambani, let's say you come to the Gurdwara, you do a lot of seva, let's say you give a lot of things to charity. If you've still got that greed, and the greed doesn't just mean for material wealth, the lobe can mean for anything. The lobe can mean power. You're greedy for power. It might be you're greedy for recognition. Whatever you're greedy for, whatever that lobe is, like the algae covers the water, you can't see the good quality underneath. The water becomes useless. So Maharaj here is saying that lobe, greed, is what ruins mankind. But again, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj is free of this greed. It doesn't affect them whatsoever. When they became the Guru, it wasn't because they wanted the power of the house of Guru Nanak. It wasn't because they wanted the wealth of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And if we look around the world now, particularly in India, you hear about all these fake gurus. Now why are these fake gurus setting up? Because they want power and they want money. If you look now how much Sangat come and they mata take to Maharaj, look at how they put money in the golak, they bring food, they bring clothes to Maharaj. If as an individual you could set yourself up in this way and you could have people believe that you were the Guru and you could take in this kind of money, it'd be amazing. Look how beautiful and amazing this Guru Gurdwara Sahib is. This is the house of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Imagine if you could set yourself up as an individual and have a home as big as this. You have cars, people driving you around, people respecting you. This is a temptation that these human gurus develop and they fall for, and it's because of greed. But Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj is free of this lobe, free of this greed, and the reason they got the Gurgaddi from Guru Nanak Dev Ji was because of their humility and because of their seva, not because of their desire. It was because in fact that they would desire less that they became the Guru. Then Maharaj says, Varya darge Guru ki kudrati noor. So Varya, you know, me vargya, thand vargi. Varya is to spread, or something that kind of spreads out. So Varya darge Guru ki. Darge is the court. Kudrati noor. Kudrati is Noor is a light. So the light of the creator, Vaheguru, spread through the court of the Guru. And again, this is when Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj became the Guru. Jitso haath na labbe, tu oho tharur. Jitso haath na labbe. So Maharaj is saying, tu oho tharur. Tharur is a state of coolness, a state of peace. So what Maharaj is saying in this pankti is, Jitso haath na labbe. Haath as hand, right? Jitso haath na labbe. No one could find the depth, no one could find the magnitude of that coolness of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. You know, sometimes we feel that experience when we come to the Gurdwara Sahib. We've had a hard day. It's been a tough life. Whether it's a day at work, school, college, family, whatever it is. Sometimes we come to the Gurdwara Sahib. You've taken your shoes off, you've washed your hands, and as soon as you open that door and you step inside, you get this feeling of peace. An aura of coolness just descends upon you. And these are the blessings of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Often we can't even explain why. And when you're standing in front of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, mat taking, and sometimes you do nirdas, and when your heart's heavy, when you got a lot on your mind, and you're standing there talking to Maharaj, say, Maharaj, this is where I am, this is what I need. Sometimes you lose yourself. And normally we expect a mat take in 2 seconds, but sometimes when we're standing there, we find ourselves standing there for a bit of time, because suddenly we're connected to Maharaj, we're talking to Maharaj, and we feel that cool hand. It's almost like when you see a best friend. You know, the person you know you can always trust, the person you know you can always talk to. If life is hard, when you're sitting with them, you feel at ease, you forget your problems. This is the coolness of Maharaj. And no one can understand the depth of just how great Maharaj is in giving this coolness to us, this peace. Maharaj says, no nid naam nidan hai, tudh vich parpoor. So all the treasures, naam, are within Maharaj. These treasures, tudh vich parpoor, these treasures of naam. So again and again, Maharaj tells us about naam, Simran. Maharaj tells us, if you want to become one with God, you want to become one with Vaheguru, you have to jap naam. You have to be blessed with naam. Naam, if you like, the basic, most literal translation of naam is the name of Vaheguru, is the name of God. So we've been told to meditate on the name of God and to become one with God. But to meditate on the name of God, you have to be given the name of God. We have to receive this. It's a treasure. Not anyone could just say, I'm going to start doing Bhagavati. We can try and do Simran, but it's almost like you could do Simran as much as you want, which is great. You'll achieve great spiritual experiences. But if the Guru Sahib himself blesses you with that, it means something even more. When Maharaj takes that naam and puts it inside you himself, and then says to you, this is how you japa naam, this is how I want you to do it, it means even more. And the treasure of naam and the various spiritual treasures that we get, again, the feelings, the emotions of bliss, they're in Maharaj, but they're not just in Maharaj, they're overflowing. So the kirpa, the blessings of Maharaj, just fly out in every single direction. As I said at the start, these were two men, Bhai Satta ji and Bhai Balvand ji, who insulted Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj to their face, who said, who was Guru Nanak Dev Ji? It wasn't for musicians like us. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Bhai Mardana bina kaun si? कि भाई मरदाना ना होंदा किसी ने गुरु नानक देव जी नूं पछाणना भी नहीं सी कि जे संगत तुहाडे कोल आउंदी आ कि सिर्फ साडी कला करके आउंदी आ. This is what Bhai Satta ji and Balvand ji said. This is a level, the depth, the low level that they fell to. And yet Maharaj, who's overfilling with these gifts, overfilling with compassion, overfilling with humility, not only forgave them but included their Bani in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Then Maharaj says, Ninda teri jo kare, so vanje choor. Whoever does Maharaj's nindya, Ninda teri jo kare, ninda teri yours, jo, whoever kare, whoever does your ninda, so vanje choor. You know, we say kisi cheez ne choorta, choor ke rakhta. It means it gets shredded, it gets destroyed. And there's a sakhi around Guru Angad Dev Ji, which I want to share with you, which illustrates this point. So when Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj became the Guru, they were in Khadur Sahib, and they would often go out in different places and they would do Sangat and they would teach about Naam Bani. Now, one of these areas, obviously you know Punjab, it's a farming state, it's always been a farming state, it still primarily is, we haven't really developed much beyond that. And the farmers at the time were in a position where it hadn't rained for a long time, hadn't rained for weeks, months. And again, if you're a farming state, you need water, simple as that. So these farmers are saying to Maharaj, when is it going to rain? Maharaj says, when Vaheguru decides to send the rain, it will rain. But they were impatient. And you can imagine, very simple, very Siddha Sadhe farmers going, no, we need rain. And there was a yogi called Tapa. And Tapa yogi was a celibate, so he didn't get married. He said, I've renounced the world, I don't need anything, I don't have children, I don't have a wife, I'm a great holy man. And if you go to India, you see them walking around and stuff, right? And he said to these farmers, the reason it hasn't rained is because you believe in Guru Angad Dev Ji. Guru Angad Dev Ji is a family man. He's married, he's got children. How can a family married man be a guru? How can that happen? ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗ੍ਰਸਤੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਣ ਸਕਦਾ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੇਲ ਵੀ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ ਹਨ। ਜੋਗੀ ਤਪਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲੱਗੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੂਜਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੱਥਾ ਟੇਕਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਪੈਂਦਾ। ਇਟਸ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਯੂ ਬਿਲੀਵ ਇਨ ਦਿਸ ਗ੍ਰਸਤੀ, ਦਿਸ ਹਾਊਸਹੋਲਡ guru that it doesn't rain. Now, do you remember last week we talked about how Guru Nanak Dev Ji sent the Ganga the wrong way? And part of sending the Ganga up the backwards was to say that you don't need to renounce the world. You don't need to say, I'm not getting married, I'm going to live in a cave, I'm going to live in the woods or the forests. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj says, living the life you live in a family life, working hard, earning your money, looking after your children, within your family you can meet Vaheguru. And this is unique for Guru Nanak Dev Ji to say this in this part of Punjab and India. And yet here we have this Yogi Tapa saying to the Sangat, okay, it's because you like believe in this Gresti Guru that you're going through this pain now that it doesn't rain. And they said, these farmers stood this out, they said, well, what should we do? This Tapa Yogi says, get Guru Angad Dev Ji and throw them out of town. Kaddo inna nu. Guru Angad Dev Ji etho kaddo. As soon as you get him out, I'll make it rain. So these farmers are very simple. And their interest was in the rain, their interest was in their farming, in their crops. So they actually went to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj and said, Maharaj, you need to leave. Maharaj says, ki gal? They go, because of you, it's not raining here. And Maharaj says, if me being here is causing you distress, if me being here is causing you pain, this is Maharaj's humility now. This is Maharaj's love. Saying, if me being here is causing you pain, I'll leave. So Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj actually got up and left. And the farmers felt great now, it's going to rain. And the yogi thought, fantastic, my main competition in town has just left. All these farmers are going to start coming back to me and expecting me as their guru. But guess what? It didn't rain. A few days went by, it didn't rain. A few weeks went by, it didn't rain. And these farmers are getting a bit frustrated now. They said, you said to us, if we get rid of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, it'll rain. Me kithe haje bhi nahi mi paya. And they were stressing. And Tapa was going, look, it will take time. I've got to do this mantra, I've got to do this ritual, I've got to sprinkle this, I've got to burn this, I've got to do all these kind of things. Give me time. But the Sangat's getting more and more agitated now. And at the time, I'll say Bhai Amar Das Ji, because Guru Sahib hadn't become the Guru here. Bhai Amar Das Ji used to live at Govindwal Sahib. And every day, in the morning from Govindwal Sahib, this is the third Guru, used to come to Khadur Sahib to get darshan, to Matta take to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. And when this time came, the day came when they couldn't find Maharaj, they said to the Sangat, Maharaj kithe hai? And said, these farmers have sent Maharaj away. So Bhai Amar Das Ji, who became Guru Angad Das Ji, went to the farmers and said, ki gal hai? And they said, it's because he's a Gresti, we've had to kick him out. And they explained the whole story. And then Bhai Amar Das Ji explained to the Sangat, tusi bahut galt kita, you've done a grave mistake here. And they took him to the yogi. And Bhai Amar Das Ji, because he couldn't accept that his Guru is being insulted, he said to them, he said, ask this yogi, if he can't make it rain, does he want to see the Guru Sikh make it rain? If the Guru Sikh can make it rain, forget the Guru. You're saying because the Guru never rained. Because I'm telling you, the Guru can make it rain. Forget the Guru Sahib for a second. Even the Guru Sikh can make it rain if he does ardas to Maharaj. Ask the yogi, does he want to make it rain for you? Sure, the Guru Sikh do it. When they went to the yogi again, said, yogi, make it rain. He goes, I can't. It's not like that. He goes, it doesn't work that way. And they go, well, the Guru Sikh, he's saying that he can do it. So again, these are very simple people. And Bhai Amar Das Ji stood there. He did ardas to Vaheguru Sahib. He says, Maharaj, Vaheguru Ji, bless the farmers with water. Bless the farmers with the rain. He did ardas to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, ke Maharaj jithe bhi ho, bless the farmers with the rain. Ke Maharaj, they're insulting your name. Maharaj is saying that you can't do this. Maharaj, bless them, show them. And what Bhai Amar Das Ji said was, take this yogi and take him out the field, see what happens after the ardas. As soon as the farmers grabbed the yogi, pulled him out the field, it started raining. And the farmers, you can imagine again, farmers going, it hasn't rained for months. We've pulled him out of the field, it started raining. So what the farmers started doing is dragging this yogi to every single field. So they grabbed him by his arms and legs, they grabbed him to one field and it starts raining there. Then they push him into another field, it starts raining there. And they push him into another one, it starts raining. Jithe yogi nu khech khris ke leke jande si, utthe meeh pehna paya. And they pulled him and they pushed him and they shoved him and eventually the yogi died. And the farmers then felt very embarrassed. And they went to Bhai Amar Das Ji and said, Bhai Sahib, maaf karna. We doubted the Guru. We not only doubted the Guru, we insulted the Guru, we threw them out of town. Ye ki kariye? And Bhai Sahib said, Bhai Amar Das said, we're now going to go to Guru Maharaj and ask for forgiveness. When they went to where Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj was, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj turned his face on Bhai Amar Das Ji. Then Bhai Amar Das Ji went round the other way. Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj turned their face again. 4 times Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj turned their face from Bhai Amar Das. When Bhai Amardas said, Maharaj, are you angry with me? Please forgive me. Maharaj says, that man has died. That man has died. Because this is the compassion of Maharaj. Bhai Amardas said, Maharaj, he's died, but surely it is of his own will. Surely it is of his own actions. Maharaj, how can someone insult you? How can someone do you an India and accept to get away? And then Maharaj, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj then said a shabd at that time as well. Maharaj says, Mantri hoye anuhiya, Mantri hoye athuhiya, nagi lage jaye, apan hathi apne, de kucha ape laye, hukam paya tur khasam ka, ati hu takka khaye, gurmukh syo manmukh ade, dubbe hak nyaye. So Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj said, and I'll quickly go through what the translation of this shabda, because we haven't got the screens up today. Maharaj says, those who charm scorpions and handle snakes, mantri hoye athuhiya, nagi lage jaye. So these people do these magic tricks, these people who try and impress people with their skills. Apan hathi apane, de kucha ape laye. They only brand themselves, they make themselves famous by doing these kind of things. Hukam paya tur khasam ka, ati hu takka khaye. Hukam paya tur khasam ka. The hukam, the preordained hukam that was come from Maharaj, ati hu takka khaye. So by the hukam, these people who try and impress the world by twisting the minds, by doing these magic tricks, they'll get pushed and shoved as per the hukam of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, as per the hukam of Vaheguru, sorry. Maharaj says, Gurmukh syon, manmukh lade, manmukh ade, dubbe hak ne aaye. So if the manmukh argues and fights with the Gurmukh, they will lose. If the manmukh argues and fights with the Gurmukh, they will lose, because the manmukh is run by his own mind. The manmukh runs and follows and listens to what his mind says. A Gurmukh listens to what Guru Sahib says. And who is Guru Sahib? Guru Sahib is Vaheguru. So how can a man who listens to his own mind stand up and be successful against the one who supported and listens to what Vaheguru says? Maharaj says, Doha sriya ape khasam vekhe kar vyopay. So Maharaj, who controls both worlds, this world and the next world, he looks at everything and he makes a determination who's going to be successful and who wins and who loses. So in this instance, what you had was a manmukh, this man who trotted in India Guru Sahib and kicked Maharaj out of the town. He himself was the one who's beaten up and ultimately lost his life. So again, coming back to the main shabd, Ramkali ki Vaar, Maharaj, where they were saying that Ninda teri jo kare, so vanje chur. Whoever does Nindya of Maharaj is ripped into pieces, as per the hukam of Vaheguru. And again, if we look back in our history, this has happened many times. Many times people have done Nindya Maharaj. In more recent history, from 1984 onwards, we've seen people do Nindya, not only Nindya, but Bayad Bhi of Maharaj. And quite often we've seen what happens to them eventually. So we've got to be very careful, and often people are doing it all the time. Sometimes we do it without knowing. If we do it as a mistake, then we can ask for maafi from Maharaj. But sometimes we say, this isn't Gurbani, that isn't Gurbani. How can Guru Sahib have done this? As children, we accept Maharaj and Gurbani as Gurbani. We say, Maharaj, we're the child, you're the father, you teach us. We don't come to Maharaj and say, Maharaj, you're not complete because you're missing this, or Maharaj, you're not complete because you've added that. Let's be careful that we don't do Nindya Maharaj ourselves in our own Jivan. Then Maharaj says, Nere dese maat lok, tud sujje dur. Again, this is a praise of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Maharaj is saying, we as people, we only see what's near, you see what's far. And what Maharaj is saying here is that as human beings, we all do this, don't we? We think about what we need today. So when we wake up in the morning, quite often we think, Aaj mainu ki chahida, aaj mere kere kam hai. Je banda thode agge soche, we think, what do I need tomorrow? Or what do I need to do this week or this month? Je jadi during this year, we might think, es saal mein ki karna, what am I going to do this year? But again, it's very much about this life. It's very much about this human form. In this body, what do I want to do? What do I want to achieve? So Maharaj says, Nere dese maat lok. We only think about what's here. Tud sujje dur. You look beyond Maharaj. Because when Maharaj tells us a jap naam, yes, it is for we get a better life here, but the naam jap that we do, the bani that we read, the seva that we do goes with us beyond this physical life. So as our focus is only on the here and now, Maharaj's focus is not only on the here and now, but on the beyond as well. And when we come to Maharaj and when we listen to Gurbani, when we sit in Sangat, our sochni, our sight stops from being the minimal, stops from being back today, and it becomes about the long term. Strangely enough, it also reduces as well. Because at the moment we're making plans. Okay, when I go home, yaha karna. When I wake up in the morning, I've got to go to work. There's a sakhi when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj asked the Gursikhs with him, asked by Baba Buddha Ji, by Bala Ji, by Mardana Ji. He says, by Lena Ji, Maharaj said, how long have you got left to live? And someone says, Maharaj, I don't know, it could be years. Someone else says, Maharaj, I don't know, it could be months. Someone else says, Maharaj, it could be weeks, could be days. Bhai Lenaji says, Maharaj, it could be the blink of an eye, but whatever it is, it's in your hukum. So when we think about life, we think about the journey, we think about what we're going to do, we think about what's coming up in timescales on a short term of this world. Maharaj tells us to think about the beyond, about the spiritual path that we're living, not just the physical. But Maharaj also says, what guarantee have you got that you're going to have more than one blink of an eye's worth of life left? What makes you think you're going to live to 80? What makes you think, and a lot of us say this, I do want to take Amrit, I do want to start reading Gurbani, I do want to do all these things, but I'll do it when I'm older. What guarantee have you got that that's going to happen? How many of us have lost young friends? How many of us have lost young people in our families? We have no guarantee. We as humans do not know how long we have on this earth, and yet we act and behave as if we know, as if we have time to burn. Yet Maharaj says, you think too long in terms of the time you think you have left, and you think too short when the only thing you think about is this human life and what happens on this earth. So this is the blessing of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. This is why they have that long soch, and they bless us with this long soch. The Maharaj says, Fair Vasaya, Fairwan, Sadguru Khadur. So again, Maharaj then repeats that the son of Bhai Fairuji is now established at Khadur Sahib. So after this, we then go on to the fifth Pauri, the sixth Pauri, which is now coming out to praise the Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj. Now, Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, he used to live in a pend called Basarke. So before we go into the Shabd, the Pauriyan that deal with Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, or praise Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, just very quickly, Bhai Amar Das used to live in a place called Basarke. And on a yearly basis, he used to go to the Ganga, the Ganges, River Ganges. And there's an old traditions in India where if you go to the Ganges once a year or on a regular basis, you go over there, you have Ishnan, you bathe, and the idea was that this is to wipe away your sin. You wash away your sins there, and it's a pilgrimage. And people will come year after year after year. Now, Bhai Amar Das Ji was a spiritual man. He accepted that there was a God and he used to go on this kind of bathing exercise every year. And whilst he's on the way back one year, he met another holy man. And this man said, there's something special about you. And started talking about God. And Bhai Amar Das Ji invited this man to come stay with him. And he made him food, beautiful food. He fed this holy man. And as they were talking, the man says, I forgot to ask you, Tera Guru kaun hai? Bhai Amar Das Ji nu puchya. Said to Bhai Amar Das, who's your Guru? And Bhai Amar Das says, that's the one thing I'm missing. In my life, I have a good family. They're decent, righteous people. I have a good living. I don't have to work too hard. I am a good man. I don't do any bad things, but I haven't got a Guru. And this holy man, this other saint, spat out the food that was in his mouth. He didn't swallow it. Jera khana muh ch paise, wo bhi thokta. Ke maine gure da khana kidan kha liya? How did I eat off the hands of a man who hasn't got a Guru? He says, how can you be a spiritual being if you haven't got a guide? How can you be a spiritual being? How can you say you're a man of God if you haven't got someone to show you the path? You haven't got a Guru. You're not a Guru Mukh, you're a Manmukh. You're following what your mind said. And this man spat out the food and walked away. He says, I am cursed for even eating the food from you. And Bhai Amar Das Ji, who already had this pain, who already had this love, saying, I need a Guru in my life, was hurt even more. It was even more he was hurt, thinking, look at my state. Not only have I not got a Guru, even good, decent people will no longer come to my house and eat from me. Such is my state. And Bhai Amar Das Ji, at this age, was a very old man. He already at this stage. And yet when Bhai Amar Das Ji then went to bed, in the morning, he heard a noise, he heard a voice. Now this voice was his brother's daughter-in-law, his brother's no, Bibi Amaroji. Bibi Amaroji was a daughter of Guru Angad Dev Ji. Bibi Amaroji was a daughter of the second Guru, Guru Angad Dev Ji, and she was a daughter-in-law of Bhai Amar Das Ji's brother. So she's effectively his daughter-in-law as well. And in this morning, when Bhai Amar Das Ji is feeling this pain, this dard, this dukh, this pashtawa, ke mera Guru hunda, to mainu aa haal nahi hona si. And he's feeling this, and he hears his beautiful voice, he hears his beautiful words coming, and he goes to Bibi Amar Ji, Put, whose Bani is this? Whose words are you singing? Whose praises are you singing? And she said, these are the words, these are the hymns, these are the shabds of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. And when Bhai Amar Das says, where can I meet this Guru? All my life I've been looking for this Guru, this true Guru. Where can I meet him? She goes, he's gone. But on his seat sits my father, Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. Where are they? They live at Khadur Sahib. And then Bhai Amar Das Ji, the third Guru, said, take me there. Take me there and introduce me to Guru Angad Dev Ji. Take me there now. Now think about it. They are the father-in-law of Bibi Amro. So they're the sore of Bibi Ji. Now, again, if you look in Punjabi culture, if you are on the boys' side, when you go to the girl's family, they respect you, they treat you with great respect. Okay, our daughter-in-law's family have now come, the father-in-law's now come. When Bhai Amar Das Ji went with Bibi Amro Ji to Khadur Sahib, when they walked in, and Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj looked up, they saw Bhai Amar Das says, Aake baitho ji, as you would greet your in-laws, your daughter's father-in-law. Instead, Bhai Amar Das Ji matha teked to Guru Angad Dev Ji's feet. And he grabbed hold of Guru Angad Dev Ji's feet and says, Maharaj, I've not come here as your in-law. I've not come here as your barabar. I've not come here as your relative. I've come here as your disciple. Maharaj, bless me. Maharaj, take me to your feet. So not only is Bhai Amar Das Ji here, almost 3 times, maybe 2 times the age of Guru Angad Dev Ji, they're also their senior in Restadari as well. But here they are holding onto the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji because they can see this light in the Guru. And so much did they fall in love with the second Guru, so much that they just stayed there. And they fell into Naam Simran, they fell into meditation, deep states of meditation, where day after day they would sit there and just focus on Naam Bani, listening to the Katha of Guru Angad Dev Ji. And as they looked around, they saw the Guru Sikhs doing seva, they saw the Guru Sikhs doing various types of seva, and their ichha was to do seva as well. And they asked the Guru Sikh, Keri seva kara? And they said, do the seva of Pani, Jal. Take this water and do seva. So they would feed drinking water to the Sangat. They would wash their clothes. They would clean the floor after the langar had been served. Eventually they wanted to do Guru Sahib seva as well. So what they started doing was in the mornings when before it was time for Ishnan, so early morning, so we do Amrit Vela. And in the morning we wake up, we have Ishnan. It's quite easy now. Utho, shower jao, turn the hot water, pani aa gaya. If you go back a couple of 100 years, there was no showers, there were no baths. You wanted water, you had to go to a well, you had to go to the river to get it. So before Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj would get up for the morning Ishnan, Bhai Amar Das Ji would get the gagar and they would put it on their head and they would walk to the river. And Bhai Amar Das Ji was so much in love with Guru Angad Dev Ji, and you'll have heard of this story many times, that they would never walk with their back towards Maharaj. They'd always keep their face towards Guru Sahib. So even when they walk into this river, they would have their face towards Guruji, they'd walk backwards. And when they went to get the water, because this water was going to bathe their Guru, they would keep the gagar on their head and walk backwards into this fast-flowing river and let the gagar fill up. But never take their face away from the Guru. Never lower this water, because this water was going to wash their Guru's anger. And they would do this and then walk back. And this is way before anybody else would wake up. Even before Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, and we say wake up, Maharaj doesn't sleep, but in terms of the physical sense of waking up. And one day as they were walking in the pitch black, body soaking wet from having just stepped into this river, their foot slipped on a root of a tree or a stone. And as they stumbled, a noise was made, and there was a weaver who had a hut just nearby. And the weaver's wife heard this noise, and they go, "Kaun hai baar?" The husband goes, "Kaun hai baar?" And his wife says, "It must be that Amaru, that Kamala, that Pagal, the Bekara, the Nithama. Bekara, the one who's got no home, the Nithama, the one who's got no place, the Mastana. He lives at his in-laws, he's so shameful. He lives at his in-laws, he hasn't even got his own home. He lives in Basarke, but he's come and lived at his daughter's father's place. Kini sharam di gal. She started insulting the Guru like this. And Guru Amar Das Ji outside, Bhai Amar Das Ji hears his words. And Maharaj says, "You're calling me homeless. My home is the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. My home is the shade of their being. My place is forever in the dust of their feet. I'm the madman. He's Bibi, I'm not the pagal, you're the pagal. You're the mad woman who can't recognize that the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji are the home for humanity." And as soon as Guru Amar Das Ji said these words, the Bibi went pagal. She went pagal and her husband couldn't contain her. And Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, Bhai Amar Das Ji, went back to Khadur Sahib with the jal and did Maharaj's seva. In the morning, when the man and his wife arrived to see Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, they said, "Maharaj, something's happened to my wife." "What's wrong?" "Pagal hogi." Guru Angad Dev Ji said, "What happened last night? Something must have happened." And the story came through. And Bhai Amar Das Ji said, "Maharaj, idda hoi." And the husband and wife, the husband's begging the second Guru, Ki Maharaj, forgive my wife, daan karo, daya karo, forgive her for her mistakes. And Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj says, no, I can't do this. He says, whilst Guru Amar Das Ji, Bhai Amar Das Ji said that I am the Thanya ka Thane Manya Kaman, it's actually him. He, the third Guru, will be the home for the homeless. Says if he blesses you, you'll be forgiven. And Bhai Amar Das Ji then forgave the Bibi. Now because of time, we're not going to have time to go through the Shemi Pauri, so forgive me. But I'll tell you instead another 2 quick sakhiyan about Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. So Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, and then we'll carry on with the Shemi Pauri next week. When Bhai Amar Das Ji was doing this seva, he became so much in love with Maharaj, he saw Maharaj everywhere. At one time, Maharaj, Guru Angad Dev Ji said to Bhai Amar Das Ji, Bhai Sahib, what do you see? He goes, Maharaj, tushin das diyan. He says, look to your left, look to your right, look up, look down. He goes, Maharaj, all I see is you. Maharaj says, look a bit harder. He looked, and he goes, Maharaj, the skies are full with saints, are full with Devi Devte, are full of those people who come to serve at your darwaje, your door. And Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj blessed Bhai Amar Das Ji. And they said to them, I'm blessing you now, but now what I want you to do is go back to Basarke. I want you to go back home. And Bhai Amar Das Ji felt this pain. Because you know, we talked about this before, if you're in love with someone and you have to be separated from them, the pain is sometimes too hard to bear. And Bhai Amar Das is really confused now, thinking, Maharaj, you've just showed me yourself, you showed me your true colours, you showed me how you exist in all places at all times. Why are you sending me away now? And Maharaj says, Hukam ya. I need you to go back to Basarke. So Bhai Amar Das Ji then left, Manda the Hukam, and he went. And you know what the Sangat is saying? The Sangat says, this disciple has taken sara kuch le gaya, lot ke sara kuch le gaya. Bhai Amar Das Ji has come to Guru Angad Dev Ji and sara kuch lot ke le gaya. Ki lot ke le gaya? Naam kamai, bani, sikhi. Lot ke le gaya. So he's come to Guru Angad Dev Ji and he's taken it all with him. Same was when Bhai Lena Ji first met Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Maharaj says, what's your name? He goes, Lena. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, if your name is Lena, then main dena. If you want to give, then I'm going. If you want to take, then I'm going to give. In the same way, Bhai Amar Das Ji now has taken everything from the Guru's car and walked away. Now Guru Angad Dev Ji had 2 sons, Bhai Datu Ji and Bhai Dasu Ji. And when they heard the Sangat saying, Tanya, Bhai Amar Das sar kuch le gaya. He's taken all the Guru's blessings. They thought, hang on, our father is this king, our father is a Guru. And they're worried in their minds, thinking, what has he taken? So they got on their horses thinking, he's taken the Jadat, he's taken the ownership of the Guru's estate, he's taken the fields, he's taken the Sangat, all the money is going to be his. Again, they didn't appreciate who their father was, even though they were born in that house. And they got on the horses with their friends and they ran after Bhai Amar Das Ji. Now on the way, when they got there, Bhai Amar Das Ji doing the Nambani walking along, their hands got stuck to the reins of the horses and their arms got stuck to their body like this. And when that happened, they came back home and they went to their Mata Kiwi Ji and says, Mata Ji, daso ki kariye? We can't move our hands. And Mata Ji says, where did you go? They go, we went to grab that Amar Das. He took everything from our father. And Mata Kiwi Ji says, don't you understand anything? What do you mean he's taken everything from your father? If he's taken anything from your father, because your father's blessed him. And Mata Kiwi Ji, long story short, had to go to Bhai Amar Das Ji and do ardas and say, Maharaj, please forgive my sons. And again, even in that point, because Guru Angad Dev Ji says, no, you must go to Bhai Amar Das Ji and ask them for forgiveness. Even at that point, Bhai Amar Das Ji, Mata Tekta says, Mataji, you're my mother. And remember again, his daughter-in-law is the daughter of Mata Kiwi Ji, and yet Bhai Amar Das Ji saying Mata to Mata Kiwi Ji, saying, Mata Ji, tusi minu maaf karo. If because of me this has happened to your sons, and eventually the sons are freed. Another quick story, when Guru Amar Das Ji became the Guru, when he became the Guru and the third Guru, and he was established, Bhai Datu Ji at one point came and actually kicked Maharaj. Because in his ego, he said this throne of Guru Angad Dev Ji should have been mine because they're my father. And he kicked Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj and he kicked them off the throne. When Guru Amar Das Ji fell off the throne, Bhai Datu Ji, and I say Bhai Datu Ji out of respect again because they're the Guru's son, they sat on the throne. They sat on the gaddi of Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj. Rather than get up and fight and argue what Bhai Amar Das Ji, Guru Amar Das Ji did, they started massaging the feet of Bhai Datu Ji. Started massaging the feet of Guru Angad Dev Ji. And what they said was, Maaf karna, my body's old, my bones are hard and brittle, I may have hurt your foot. Minu maaf karo. And Bhai Datu Ji again in their anger says, kicked him away and says, I'm on the throne now, this is my throne by right, you can leave. Get out of here. Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj in the humility got up and they walked away. Baba Buddha Ji walked away. The Sangat holy walked away. So Bhai Datu Ji thought, just by sitting on the throne, I will take over this Gaddi, I will take on the heritage, I will take on the kingdom, the throne, the greatness of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, but it doesn't work that way. All the Sangat left and Bhai Datu Ji is left alone with his friends. Now Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj in their Bairag went away and they hid themselves away. And again, as it happened with the second Guru, the Sangat are coming to Baba Buddha Ji saying, Baba Ji, tell us where the Guru is. The Guru's son has forced them to leave and accepting the hukum, they've gone and hid themselves, we don't know where they are now. And again, Baba Buddha Ji did ask to Maharaj, and because of their blessing, they went and found where Guru Amardas Ji was. And on this little hut, there's a sign on the door that Guru Amardas Ji had written. And on this sign it says, whoever comes through this door is no longer my Sikh. Whoever comes through this door is no longer my Sikh. Jara hai darwaja khol ke andar hoga, mera Sikh hi nahi. And the Sikhs went honki kariye ke Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj bachya darshan karne. We can't get inside for the door because we lose our Guru. What can we do? So, Pyareo, this is what Baba Buddha Ji did. This is the pyar, this is the dil of a Guru Sikh, the heart of a Guru Sikh who wants to meet his Guru. What Baba Buddha Ji did was went around the back of the house and he knocked a hole in the back wall. And he crawled through that hole in the wall and he muttaked at the feet of Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj. And Maharaj says, my hukum was whoever walks into this hut is no longer my Sikh. Baba Buddha Ji, what have you done? Baba Ji says, Maharaj, you said whoever walks through the door. Guru Sahib, I made a hole and come through the back wall. May fir bhi thoda Sikh. And then Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj came out and they blessed the Sangat. Now there's a Gurdwara Sahib dekho na ko Samsar Sahib. And that hole is still there. The hole in the wall is still there. So if you want Sangat, darshan of this wall, of this Gurdwara Sahib called Samsar Sahib, it's near Amritsar, you can go and see this. But this is the humility, this is the greatness of Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj. Now through these pauriyan that we're looking at in Ramkali ki Vaar, we haven't got the time to go through all the sakhiyan of Guru Sahibs, but what we're doing is via the Shabd introducing who Guru Sahib was. So again, I'm going to wrap it up now. But today, in the fifth pauri, we looked at again the praise of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, who set himself up at Khadur Sahib. And the praises of Maharaj in the way they bless us, in the way we look at life. They taught us about Naam, they taught us to think long and short. We learn about how Maharaj themselves are the treasure of all special powers, of all spiritual beings. Any kirpa we need comes from them. In the next pauri, which we'll do next week now, we look at the praise of Guru Amardas Ji Maharaj. And then the week after, we'll look at Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj's praises, and finally Guru Arjan Dev Ji's as well. So again, benti to all the Sangat. As ever, if I've said anything wrong in the Katha, in the Vichar, please do forgive me. I am just a lowly child, trying to do whatever we can. Please do continue to come to the Katha. We've done this through the Simran. The idea is that we carry on with this week on week. And what we want to do is try and create a small Sangat. Well, we'll try and create a large Sangat if there's Kirpa. But even if there's only a few of us, we want to continue looking at Gurbani, continue looking at Itihas and work together to improve our own Jeevan as well. So if I said anything wrong, please do forgive me. बोले चुका संगत जी अनेक प्रकार दी गलतियां हो गई हों जी आप जी ने जान बचे समझ के माफ़ कर देना गज के फतेह बुलाओ जी वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह